let Dr. Meredith Watson, Wealth and Zen Coach, teach you how to turn the price of what you would pay for 4 gallons of milk into $2,000 using your innate talents. Visit www.wealthyzen.life. She will help you uncover and dissect your badass narrative, which will allow you to journey into a purpose-driven life where you can afford to do what you want, when you want, as often as you want. Check out her free audio ebook at www.wealthyzen.life. Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr. Meredith Watson, Wealth and Zen Creation Coach. I endeavor to teach you how to use your innate talents to create wealth and Zen, uncover your and dissect your badass narrative so that you can journey into a purpose-driven life where you can afford to do what you want, when you want, as often as you want. Check out my free ebook at www.wealthyzen.life. Today we're going to talk about some thought ramblings. Lots been going on lately. And lots of releasing, lots of figuring out what doesn't serve me and letting those things go. And one of the things that came across my mind is, as one really gets intimate with their mental activity and discovers that happiness, for instance, isn't entirely produced by altering your outer conditions. Instead, sometimes it's about recognizing that happiness can begin with undoing and releasing attachments to ideas and predispositions and scripts, things that we have held on to for years and years and years and been told is or isn't true or isn't possible. And we discharge this machine-like reaction and really start questioning and objecting to affairs and feelings that don't resonate with us anymore. Like, why are we hung up on a specific type of person? Or why are we stuck in a specific job or in a specific relationship or in a specific town or in a specific thought process? What is it about this particular thought or feeling or atmosphere or surroundings that makes us feel like we have to stay there, that we have to accept this particular lot versus really going after the things we truly want? I've had mountains upon mountains of lemons thrown in my face, and you know what I decided the other day? That I'm going to take those lemons, add an egg, and make a Boston sour. Because we can't always help the past. We can't help the past. It is what it is. But we can, every bit of the world, change what we want to do in the future. From this moment in present time forward, we can choose. We can choose to change jobs, to get out of the unfulfilling relationship, to stop going to the Sunday dinners where we're ridiculed and told things that really don't serve us and screw up our entire week going forward. We can change the trajectory of our life. We can change the trajectory of our finances, of our wealth, of our tranquility. We can rewrite our story. And it's not all bullshit. You can truly change the trajectory of your life. Like, why am I so caught up when my mom doesn't call me her daughter and hammer that into my head? It's because it's a feeling of belonging. I want to belong to her. I want to be a part of her. I want to be included in her wealth of family. I want to hear that I'm included. I want to hear that I'm a part. I want to hear that I'm wanted. I want to hear the words that I am hers, because it's all about belonging. It's all about really hearing those words from her, that I know I belong somewhere. The truth is, and it's a quote from a book that I read a few years ago, and I've heard this quote 100 times and said it. It's even in my journal. She belonged to herself. She'd just forgotten. If my mom never calls me her daughter again, I belong to Source, Creator, Sovereign, Universal, Infinite Power. I am the child of an infinite source. That's where I belong. I belong on this earth to create change and to start a revolutionary effect, to start a new movement of people who are raising their conscious awareness, who are in tune with and aligned with their soul's purpose. And they truly are ready to take the world by storm and show the world what they're working with. it's extremely important that we understand that a lot of the reasons we don't have what we want is because we don't believe we deserve it. And to come to grips with the fact that you are stopping your own self from living the life of your dreams is extremely life altering. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's definitely something that we all need to come into the realization of. At some point, you have to take the wheel and drive into the direction of your most inherent desires. At some point, you have to decide that you will not let man, woman, boy, child, mini pearl, naked squirrel tell you how to live your life, how you deserve to live. There comes a point when you decide that waking up in the morning and hating your life and hating that you made it through and going through the life on rote and repetition in a robotic state of funk is no longer acceptable. Staying in relationships and doing the things that no longer serve you is no longer acceptable. Money is not hard to come by. It does grow on trees. It's paper. It grows on trees. It's an infinite, energetic exchange, and there's plenty to go around. You don't have what you want because you're not open and receptive to receiving it. You don't have what you want because you are not gung-ho, gusto, inspired, action-driven, purposefully driven into the direction of your most inherent desires. I wanted a house in a gated community that I've seen in my head for 10, 15, 20 years. It showed up in my newsfeed as a house for sale. I've wanted a Ford Fusion for as long as I can remember. Shows up in my newsfeed. In fact, the salesperson is someone that I did a conference for, a speaking engagement for. I decided I no longer wanted to be in the relationship that I was in. The person cheats and I'm out. Because I didn't want to hurt anybody. So I was totally open to letting the chips fall where they may. And it just happened. It was very subtle and very overwhelming, but it happened. I wanted to move, start fresh, completely revamp my life. Job opportunity in a state 4 hours away. The area I wanted to live in, immediately an opening. I wanted to change the trajectory of my business. Coaches in the line of business that I wanted to learn about opened their doors. Spots became available for me to get the mentorship. I had a spiritual awakening. Soul recovery coaches, yoga instructors, studies on polarity and meditation and journaling and mindset work opened right up for me. People that were stifling my growth literally were removed from my life. My eyes were open to what and who no longer served me, and I started cutting those people like butter. But the first step into acquiring all of the things that I'm talking about is making an inspired decision. A decision fueled by tenacity and finesse and decision and precision and perseverance and awareness that I really didn't want to wake up one more morning and regret and hate that I made it through the night. I wanted to raise my daughter and in a way give homage to my son, that I will teach them that life is not drudgery. It's not rote and repetition. It's not staying where and with who and what does not serve you. It's about waking up excited about the day. It is about loving life with every fiber of your being. It is about finding a practice that fuels you when you're out in the middle of the proverbial ocean, cold, dark, afraid, and alone, that anchors you and gives you fortitude to go on. I'm broaching 40. So excited. Have a time capsule that I'm going to open on my 40th birthday. That I get to live in a world where I am free to practice my faith as well as my craft. That I can raise my daughter to believe she can be anything she wants. That she can have anything she wants. She can co-create with the universe and be at a vibration and a frequency that allows her to call in the things that she wants. But the first thing I teach her is you have to know what you want. You cannot be a follower. You have to be a leader. You cannot go through this life pretending that what you want is just going to fall into your lap without any inspired action on your part. There has to be action. There has to be fortitude. There has to be tenacity. There has to be a drive in you that says, I want, and refuse to settle for anything less than. And that's extremely important in this day and life and society. People will run you straight over with their proverbial cars and then back up over you, go in reverse over you to see what the bump was. People don't care about each other the way they should, and it's a lack of conscious awareness. Everybody's on rote and repetition and drive, but they're driving into nothingness. They're driving into a fog off the edge of a cliff because they are so beaten down and defeated. But if they would just wake up long enough to smell the cappuccino, wake up long enough to realize they're in a fog, and realize that life is passing them by. I absolutely adore my mother. Anybody who knows me knows that. But the constant pulling to get her to say the things that I want her to say, to do the things I want her to do, to be who I want her to be, is exhausting. It's exhausting, y'all. And I push so hard and I try so hard because at the core of everything I am, I just want to be her own. I just want to be hers. I just want to take her and travel with her and show her things that only a daughter can show their mother, and have the fun with her and have this 3 generation of her, me, and my daughter. I have friends, but nothing compares to your mother. And to be able to share the things that I am so desperate to share and hear the words I'm so desperate to hear, but also detaching from that outcome of whether or not she falls in line, because I'm always going to love her. That's never going to change. And I know deep down in her heart and soul she loves me for who I am and who I stand for and what I stand for and who I've become and what I've accomplished and what I've overcome. But it has to be enough that we've had some amazing years. We've had some amazing times. We've traveled great and far. We've so far raised my daughter together. She has been a light in my life. And I don't want any of that to change. I never want to lose her. She's everything to me, heart and soul, everything. But really detaching from the affairs and feelings of needing her validation to feel like I'm enough. I'm worthy. Her love literally fuels me. Her food literally fuels me. She makes the best banana bread, broccoli au gratin, and meatloaf I've ever tasted in my life. But the food isn't so much what it is. It's the person that cooks it. But to find that fuel within myself, to find that fuel within my own belly, from my own source, that I don't need her to stamp her approval on my life, or to keep coming back, or spend the night, or do the things I want her to do, or say the things I want her to say, and going from pillow to post to hard to soft to up to down to over and under. I need to find those things within myself. And I find them sometimes, but then there are other moments I literally am crushed to the core because I just want my mom. And we all have something we want. Maybe for me it's my mom, for you it's drink, sex, the guy from down the street, the girl from the grocery store. You want a baby, you want a car, you want a house, you want a better job. Whatever your thing is, go after it with all you've got, but detach from the outcome. Put your best foot forward. Do the inspired action. But then release, surrender and release. I've done everything I can do. I release it to Source, Creator, Universe, whoever you serve that's higher and bigger than you. And release and allow. Because if you continue to stay, gripped on this outcome, you may not survive all of the things that come in the way of getting what you want. And I'm not over talking or saying, out of both sides of my mouth, you have to have dreams, you have to have desires. But there is a peace that transcends all when you can get up in the morning and happy about life and you are detached from the outcome of anything that you really can't control. Let's go, for example, you wake up, you have your morning ritual of whatever you do. For me, it's meditation, yoga, and some journaling, music, jazz, meditational music, whatever I'm having the mood for that day. Grab a cup of coffee, have some pastries, my smoothie, my nutritional smoothie. I have a thing with having a piece of cheese in the morning. Call me a little mouse. Wake my daughter up, start her lesson, start working, mediate some cases, coach some clients, do some marketing, set up the show for the day, send it out to you guys who are actively wonderful listeners, and I appreciate your patronage. I focus on what I want to do. What are my goals? Who do I want to reach out to? Who do I want to help? In what way can I pay it forward? But there's this other part of me that literally prays my mom will call. That literally prays I am setting the right foundation to have a copiously fulfilling relationship with my daughter. But there are just some things that are outside of my control. But I set the intention, inspired action. I open the phone lines. I act in a way that I would want my mother to treat me so that I have a good relationship with her. So therefore I have that same foundation with my daughter. Cook good food for healthy sustenance and to sustain us. I put out feelers for people who want my help. You can't force people. If they don't want to be helped, they don't want to be helped. I send love and light to my enemies because it's better to send love and light than to harbor unforgiveness and anger and all the other nasty emotions that come along with not being in alignment and really creating a bubble of happiness and joy and fulfillment for yourself. Because the hatred that you're sending out to the universe is going to come back to you. So why not send out something that you actually want back? Love and peace and tranquility and goodwill. And meditate in the middle of traffic. You know, people are so road rage. They're filled with road rage. Once again, a piece of lack of conscious awareness. Use that time to become one with yourself. Start thinking about positive affirmations. Start sending love and light to the person who's pulling traffic out and driving you crazy. And it sounds woo, but really, would you rather have a sense of tranquility and zen and peace, or be filled with anger and resentment and hatred? The world is filled up with rage and hatred. Why not counter that with love and light and peace and goodwill? It is a lot healthier for your soul, your mind, your heart, your lungs, your stomach, your brain, than harboring. And you ever just sit and think of, and just relax and realize how tense you were? I grit my teeth and really clench my jaws. I find myself clenched in my shoulders. And then when I release and I realize whatever is aggravating me probably isn't going to matter in 10 minutes, in a year, in 2 years, next week, tomorrow. And I shift my perspective to love and light and peace and tranquility and start focusing on what I'm grateful for. Grab a piece of paper and take about 10 minutes and write down 50 to 100 things you're thankful for. It'll completely change your perspective. Even if you are thankful that your ex-husband cheated on you so that you got out of a relationship that no longer served you, and you're open now to love and find the love of your life who can treat you like the queen or the king that you are. Be grateful that you had this opportunity to grow, that you learned something. Take every what you call quote unquote mistake and think about what you learned from it. And the person who's driving you insane, wish them love and light and detach. Cut them off. There are ways that you can detach and cut people off, and you know what? They're going to find somebody else to worry, but you won't be sitting there, cortisol, wrapped around your abdomen, and stress and unpeace and the ability that you have to change your perspective, the ability that you have to really change your life. It's all in your hands. You can choose how you respond to everything. And that's where your control comes in. You can control your responses. You can control who you let in your literal and philosophical world. That's your choice. You don't have to keep people in your life that do not serve you, that don't bring you happiness and joy and raise your conscious awareness. I created a program called the Wealthy and Zen Biz Life Coaching Package. And the reason I created it was because I truly believe that when you know what's stifling you, what's keeping you stuck, when you can overcome your drama and your trauma and your limiting beliefs and the old paradigms and rhetoric, you can really step into greatness and start to create and bring into the world what you were brought here to create. I believe that with guidance about what's blocking you It will allow you to create your dream life and make your dreams a reality. And if once you've finished uncovering all the rubble in your life that's keeping you stuck and not where you want to be, and if you decide to monetize your passion, your leverageable skill, we all have a leverageable skill, then think about who you want to help most. Who do you want to serve? And how are you going to do that with ease and grace? And how do you want to let people know who you serve and how you serve your tribe so that they know that you're the one to get them from point A to point Z with ease, grace, finesse, and tenacity? And it's all about marketing and being a marketing ninja. How to encourage your tribe to drool over your products so that you can really encourage them to run in heels with boils on their feet, credit card ready to buy your product, service, or package. How to create a successful sales funnel that takes people from the top of not knowing you and then at the bottom loving you and wanting to give you all their money with all to buy your service or product. And how to close the sales if you get on the phone with them or meet with them for coffee. And then you have unlimited coaching support via the MEC Boxer, and you can reach out to me 24/7 or receive a response to your question, whether it's a coaching directive or a resource from the resource library. Because as I've told people, quite frankly, I spent 2 years in vortex hell. I spent almost 4 decades in a box created by someone else that forgot to leave the air holes. I have been in the trenches where I did not know who I was or where I was going or how I was going to dig myself out of this muck and miry clay. Sitting at the bottom of a cold, dark trash can with a sprinkle, just a peak of light to let me know that there is a better side. And I can find that and I can run towards it. But I have to take inspired action. I have to decide what I want and go after that with everything I have. And I made the decision to use mindset tools, polarity, meditation, yoga, mindset coaching, and soul recovery. And journaling is an amazing tool and it's free. You just need pen and paper and a quiet space where you can get your thoughts out. And to be able to go from having no idea why I was stuck in this quandary to be able to call in everything I ever wanted in my life and to manifest and co-create with the universe the things that truly light me up, to find contentment within my heart, to release and allow the people that no longer serve me to drop off and to be ready and open and receptive to receiving the kinds of things and people that makes me happy and lights me up, and travel and a good, copiously fulfilling relationship with my daughter. And being able to decide why I'm so caught up with my mom, why I'm so wrapped up in her, and why she literally fuels me with love and light, but she also causes me to really dissect and identify my weaknesses and why I'm so obsessed with her. A lot of people are obsessed with their moms, but there's a little tweak to why I'm so obsessed with my mom. And when you grow up and you realize that a lot of what you always believed about your life is a lie, and you have one thing or one person that's been consistent, you want to hold on to that piece of homeostasis, that piece of stability, and you don't want to let it go. But everything and everyone has their time and season in our life. And sometimes, even if we're not ready to release and allow, we know that that's the only way we're ever going to move forward, because some things are stifling us, some things are holding us back, some things are keeping us from being and doing the things that we were created to bring and do. So I welcome you to check out the Wealth and Zen Biz Life Coaching Package and have someone who can cheer you on, catapult your life with you, and catapult your business if you decide to grow one. Everybody doesn't want a business, but I can promise you that being able to monetize your passion and leverage your innate talent is such a fulfilling thing to do. And I want to help you, and I want to show you that if really, with the right ignition, you can drive into the direction of your most inherent desires, and I'd love to help you do so. I wish you love and light, and I can't wait
Thanks
to
for
see you on the
joining
other
us
for our latest hot topic on Phoenix Radio, where we rise above the ashes as we discuss mindset meandering and life hacks and business mastery. Be wealthy and zen, invest in your wealth. If you have questions about life, business, or mindset, email questions to meredithw@consultant.com, and we'll do our best to address your issues on the show. Be wealthy and zen and invest in your wealth at www.wealthyzen.life.